The Cowboys visit the Giants, who are turning the NFL into the Ned Flanders League, showing up when no one wants them to, saying, "Heidi-ho, neighbors." Saints-Falcons is next, but here's how the helmets are prepared before each pick. I'm not really sure what to make of either of these teams, both with tough losses in Week 3. Atlanta gets this one. The Andy Dalton Bowl. The Bengals at 0-3 visit the Panthers, who totally flipped the vibes of their season after that win last week led by the Red Rifle. Join me for a moment of silence for Bryce Young's career. And for those newfound good vibes. The Rams travel to the Bears this week, and the paper football is sure about this prediction with a one-shot Sally. The Rams had a great comeback win last week while the Bears are bearing pretty hard. It looks like the Rams win this one. Big early season NFC North tilt between the Vikings and my Packers. I can't deny how well Minnesota is playing. That Brian Flores defense makes me nervous even with Jordan Love likely coming back, especially if he isn't as mobile. And this is Aaron Jones' return to Lambeau, where the Packers will be leaping. The lowly Jaguars travel to Houston for an AFC South matchup against the Texans. I wasn't able to watch the Jags game on Monday night, but it sounded like it wasn't pretty. Falling to 0-4 would be an unmitigated disaster. Houston was a no-show in Minnesota last week. If they're as good of a team as everyone thinks they are, they'll bounce back this week. Steelers at Colts. This game is intriguing thanks in large part to Indy eking out their first win last week. Pittsburgh and their steel curtain call defense are gritting out wins, but not this week. Denver visits the Jets, so Aaron Rodgers can finally enact his vengeance on Sean Payton for talking smack on Nathaniel Hackett before the start of last season. But will he? Yes. Eagles-Bucks, a playoff rematch from 2023 when Tampa Bay ended the Eagles' misery. Speaking of misery, what happened to the Buccaneers in Denver last week? Jeez. But hey, maybe it was a trap game since this could also be a playoff preview for 2024. We shall see. The same result. Washington at Arizona. Man, I caught the ending of the Commanders game on Monday night. That throw from Daniels to McLaurin put at least the entire NFC East on notice. Still too early to say the whole league, but wow. The paper football was impressed too. Patriots at 49ers. Veto notice in full effect after this one-shot Sally. The Pats have come back down to earth. San Fran is banged up, but they will get the win. No veto needed. Kansas City makes the trip to SoFi Stadium to take on the division rival Chargers. The Chiefs could easily be 0-3 opposed to 3-0, but let's not forget, champions find ways to win, which I expect them to start doing once the refs figure out what pass interference is and isn't. Does LA have enough talent on their roster to take down KC? If Herbert can't go with that angle, I'd have my doubts. That was a strong hit on the Cups, but after review, there was no puncture. We eventually got one. The winner will be the Chargers. Nope, I have to use my veto. I won't be able to veto KC into a win for the rest of the season. Browns at Raiders, both with 1-2 records. The paper football just wants to get this one over with as quickly as possible, too, with that one-shot Sally. Vegas wins. Buffalo hits the road to Baltimore. The Bills are rolling like everyone expected, right? No puncture on that attempt. I was watching the Ravens game last week and had a very uneasy feeling about them, but they did hang on to win against Dallas. However, the Bills will be too much. Tennessee at Miami. Man, the Titans look bad. Had to examine the Cups after that attempt. No puncture. Miami should trade for Russell Wilson. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. The paper football says the Titans win. Lions at Seahawks. Both teams with wins last week. These picks end with a one-shot Sally. Will Seattle stay unbeaten? No.